Good afternoon, outdoor lovers. Welcome to Overalls, that's with two S's, in the outdoors. We were formerly Overalls in the outdoors with one S, but I've lost my login information. So we've created Overalls, that's with two S's, in the outdoors. After this video, if you like it, be sure to subscribe and like it to Overalls, again with two S's, in the outdoors. Today we're going to talk about how to train a shed dog. First, let me start out by saying I'm not a professional dog trainer. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So all the views and opinions expressed in this video are mine and mine only, and my experiences with my 2-year-old chocolate lab here, Sledge. He just turned 2 years old. A couple years ago, my girls wanted a puppy for Christmas. So we got this chocolate lab. His name is Sledge. And I'm kind of like Ben Cartwright on the Ponderosa. As you know, Ben Cartwright, if there was an animal on the Ponderosa, it had to earn his keep. I have a lab here. I used to duck hunt, but I've got a wife and children now, so that took care of the duck hunting. But as a family, we do enjoy to hike in the January and February, March months. So I thought, well, while we're hiking, let's make use of this dog that we have. So we like to hunt and fish and be outside, so we said, well, let's train it to be a shed hunting dog. And I'm going to share my experience with you. It's not going to be a part one video. You have to come back for a part two. We're going to talk about the whole thing here right now. Again, I'm not a professional trainer, not a professional shed hunting trainer for dogs, but these are my experiences that I've done with Sledge here, and we've been quite successful. Like I said, he just turned 2. We just started his first full season of shed hunting, and his first year as a pup, he picked up 3 or 4, and this year we're up to about 21. So he's doing pretty good now. So I'm going to start by first saying, before we started this process, I started the process with him when he was about 1 year old. They need to know the basic commands: sit, stay, down. So he had those mastered before we even started this process. So that's step number 1. Before you start doing anything, be sure they have mastered sit, stay, come is very important, so that they know those. One thing I'm going to share off the bat, I've seen other YouTube videos or other people talk about training shed dogs. What they do is as a puppy, they give them a shed to chew on, to be around. I don't recommend that. Again, these are my personal opinions. You don't want, this is a job for him. He's a working dog when we do this. I don't want that shed to be a toy for something he just down. I don't want that to be a toy, because you don't. If we're training a dog to be a waterfowl dog or a duck dog, we don't give that puppy a duck to chew on or a pheasant to chew on. So same, in my opinion, is with a shed. I don't want him just to lay around to chew on this. It's something that he finds, brings to me, and that's his job. So again, number 1, we did not give him a shed to chew on. The first time I introduced a shed to him was about 1 year old. What I introduced to him was the white one, the practice one there. This is something that it's from Dog Bone. It's a practice shed. I did not introduce a real shed to him. This is a practice rubber shed that's flexible, and we started out with this. And why I recommend this is, if a dog, as the first time his experience with the shed, if it pokes him in the eye or pokes him somewhere, that could turn the dog off. So this is made by Dog Bone. I found this at Academy. I think Bass Pro Shop carries it. But again, it's a rubber flexible bone. And we started out by just plain fetch. You know, of course, he's a lab, loves to fetch. Came natural, and he would run up on it, get it, bring it back to me, and that was natural. We did that for about a week just for him to get used to the shape of a shed antler. And again, it's flexible, so it didn't poke him. So after about that first week of just plain fetch, then I introduced a real shed. And these are just some sheds that I had previous to that. We started, every every 4 or 5 throws of these, then I would do a real one. He started getting used to a real shed, the hardness of that. So once he started doing that real good, then in the open yard, then I would bring it to some brush and thickets. I would take the shed and take it here, And I'm gonna talk about the rope here in just a minute, but I would take it, I would throw it in some thick cover where he would have to go into the cover. He may not actually see where it fell, but he would have to go into thick cover to find it. Maybe a cedar tree thicket or a pile of brush, but I would start just throwing it in there, and he would go and do that. So once he started doing that, fetching and retrieving those, then again, and every time, a key word I would say when you start fetching into the brush, I would say find bone. You can come up with whatever you want it to be. I would recommend just a one-syllable word, find bone. Find bone. Now he has tennis balls and other things we play with, but we refer to those as toys. Again, this is a working dog. Was his job, and I wanted him to be the difference between a toy and an antler. So when we were with antlers, it would strictly be find bone. If we had tennis balls out in the yard, I would say, here's your toy, here's your toy. So he would know toys and then find bone. And it came to a point where I would throw a tennis ball out there and a antler. Find bone, find bone. And we got to the point he knew find bone was antler only, antler only. So once he got that doing real good, retrieving that, bringing that back to me, is when we started the hunting process. I would put him in the house or in the shop, and I would go out and when I take this antler. So at this time, you can show that to them. This is a scent that came with the fake antler. It's a liquid dog bone scent, and I would put it on there. It's kind of crushed up deer bone antler, and I would put this on the antler. Now, here's the important part. I would always, to this point, I would always use a rubber glove because I do not want him to associate my smell with the antlers. It needs to be its own scent. So if he's out looking for them, I don't want him to smell me and say, oh, I smell me, I'm going to go look there. I need it to be its own scent. So I would put a glove on, apply the scent. And if you notice here on all these antlers, I have a string. This is the reason because I wanted to be able to throw this shed as far as I possibly could, 40, 50 yards away from me, because again, my boots would have my scent, he would trail my boots. But I didn't want that. I wanted that shed to be out there past my scent, so he would have to find this. So I would apply the antler scent to that with my rubber glove on. Have my rubber glove on. I would take this and I would throw it as far as I can. I would bring him out from the house. Again, and every time we practice this, I'd have him heel up. So again, he knows it's a job. I have him heel up, and I would cast him, find bone, find bone. And the first couple times we did that, obviously, he would look at me because he didn't see me throw anything. So I'd have to work with him, find bone. And after a couple times, he realized he's supposed to be hunting. So he would find it a couple times. He would find it, bring it to me. I started throwing it further, getting away. Again, bring him back out of the house. He hadn't seen what I'd done. Find bone. And he soon realized when I gave that find bone command, it was not a retrieve. It was something for him to go find and bring back to me. So we did that. Now, once he's done that, brought it back, we did a lot of this. I live, there's some woods by my house. I would go plant them in there or have my girls go plant the antler. Once we've done that for a couple weeks, then I started moving to different locations. I would go to my neighbor's house, throw it in his woods, just keep moving locations to find that again. So we've got him retrieving, he's hunting on his own. Then we would go to a different location doing that. So he started realizing, hunt. Whoa, what are you doing? Get down. Down. So, a well-trained dog here we have. Lay down. We'll go over here in just a second. So once we did that, now here's the last thing that I did, and I learned this actually from a professional dog trainer. We were at a wildlife show, and he was talking about his dog shed, and this was the one thing I think that really set him apart. He's a high-power lab. He likes to run. He's fast, and he got to the point, I think, of course, his nose is his number one with any dog. His nose is his number one asset. He got to going really fast. I think he was just using his eyes. He would use his nose some, and I could tell he would use his nose, but he got relying on his eyes too much. And so I learned this tip, and I think this was the final game changer. Once he's doing good finding them, we started hiding sheds at night. and I would take him out at night. And I don't have it, but the little glow snap sticks, I'd put around his collar so we wouldn't lose him, obviously. But I would walk out to the woods, throw the shed as far as I could, bring him out, and of course I'd put the glow, snap on little glow sticks around him so we wouldn't lose him, and I would cast him out fine bone. And because it was at night, he had to rely on his nose more. And once he started doing that, we did that about a month ago, and I could tell that really put him into using his nose and doing a good job. So what we're going to do right now, again, and that was condensed, but I want to summarize real quick. Number one, I didn't use an antler as a chew toy as a puppy. I introduced the fake antler once he was a retriever, the fake antler. Once we got that down, we started retrieving real antlers. Then we moved on to throwing antlers into thick cover, him retrieving, seeing him. Then we moved on to hiding the antler without him seeing fine bone, and he soon learned fine bone meant we had to hunt, we had to find. Hey, that's rude. Not on the camera, that's rude. So once we mastered that, we started moving locations with him not seeing, different neighbors' houses, different places. Once we did that, then we moved on to doing it at night, and that's what I recommend. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to put him, Ava, if you'll get the star of the show here, Sledge, whoa, you're on him, and take him and put him in the house. We're just going to go over here in the woods, and we're going to hide antler. We'll bring him back out. So okay, so we got Sledge. He's in the house, so he can't see what we're doing. And so again, I've got my rubber glove on again. Don't want my scent at all to be associated with this antler. I've got my antler scent here, and we'll shake it up, and I'm going to kind of drizzle it on this antler here. They also make like a deodorant, a stick to go on here. So I'm gonna walk over here to the woods, and again, I want to throw this out in the woods because again, I don't want him to associate my scent. So I want to get it for it. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna fling it. Well, it hit a tree and bounced back. So, but it's still about it looks like about 25 yards from me. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go get him out of the house, and then we'll bring him out here, okay? And let's go ahead and do this continuous so there's they don't think we're doing camera tricks or anything here. So, all right, let's see here. Ava, let's say let him out of the house here. Ava, let him out. Again, they need to know, and again, Sledge, come, okay? So again, whoa, come here. When we start, every time, so a lot of times if we're hunting, Sledge, come here. Heel. Okay, whoop, heel. I always, when practicing with them, and I always heeled him up. And if we're out hunting, and I see he's kind of losing focus, or he sees a rabbit or a squirrel and kind of falls out, I'll reset him, I'll re-heel him to know we're working. Now the first year he would hunt for maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes before I have to reset him, but now he's hunting, 15, 20 minutes, and then he may lose focus, and I reset him. So now, I re-heeled him up, okay, heel, okay, good boy, okay, and then I'll cast him out here. We're gonna do it real quick. Fine bone. So, and you tell now his nose is really good. Boom, it's just like that. So he smells that, he knows what he's doing. Come on, he'll back up with it, buddy. Drop, good boy. And usually what he's doing now, a lot of times I carry a tennis ball with me. I don't have it, and I'll throw that tennis ball as a reward. So that's what he's doing right now. He's waiting on me to throw his reward. Come here, buddy. Yeah, see, I don't have a reward for you. But that's what he's doing. Again, so he kind of associates that tennis ball as a reward for finding the antler because that's a job for him. What are you doing with that? So anyway, so Sledge, here. He's mad at me because I don't have a tennis ball. Come here, heel. Drop it. So good boy, good boy. So I hope this helps. Again, if you like this video, like and subscribe. We're going to do a lot of videos. We're going to have some fun videos. But again, this is Overalls with 2 S's in the outdoors. Hey, Ava, why don't you run and get a list of our sponsors real quick? So we couldn't do it without our sponsors here. So, but again, Overalls in the outdoors have the 2 S's. So I can't do this without special thanks to our sponsors. But yeah, just a little fun there. So again, hope you liked it and hope this was helpful. And again, I don't know, they say I got an email I can check. If you got questions, post a question. I don't know about how to log in, all that mess. I know very little about the World Wide Web, but I like the outdoors, and I hope you do too. Have a good afternoon.